Alright guys, welcome back. So I wanted to show you guys these new struts. So I got it on. I haven't put the clips on the back yet, but it's on, and they're great. I'm pretty impressed with his the guy's named Michael Brown. He's made these for things and a couple of things. He's like a fabricator and CAD guru and all kinds of stuff, composites. I think he was an Air Force guy too. So he's got a Tomcat like this, and he's just like detailing it to the moon, because I think he used to work on them when he was in I said Air Force. Sorry, Mike. I mean Navy. He was a Tomcat guy, so worked on them. So he's got a special connection to these things. But so they're on, and there we go. And it connected it up here. There's a pivot point here, here, and the gear will actually rotate. So I want to show you guys this. Let me back up. So now that when it slams down, it hits those stops, won't go past center, takes the load off this, so shouldn't pull that, and these metal ones are perfect. So this may be good, even though I don't have an upgraded air cylinder, but it's definitely worth having, I think. And it's nice and smooth. But wow, yeah, look at that. It won't even come up. All right, so you put a little bang in it, and then as you see, the wheel will start to rotate like right here, because it's got to go up in that bay. And then you come up here, you kind of see how everything kind of folds over on itself. There's the air cylinder that it folds over, comes up, and then the gear starts rotating. Doesn't hit anything, nice good clearance. And then it rotates and goes up into the wing. That's one hell of a design for the RC stuff. And you can kind of see how everything's folded on itself. No binding, everything's nice and smooth with those new struts. So I'm happy. And then of course your doors close. And this was what I didn't like with this one, is you actually have to make the rear close first, or these doors will hit. So bam, now you got. Guess you guys can, there you go. So these will come open first. I've got them sequenced that way. I've replaced all the air cylinders. There's 3, 1, 2, 3, and that's because the Skymaster ones are junk. They will always leak, or they will eventually leak. Even if you go through and repair them like I did. I tried that, but I ended up pulling them all. Putting UPs, Ultra Precisions. They're really good air cylinders. So. But yeah, you can see right there, if you try to close this front outer first, it hits the door and binds up. So gear comes up, doors close. This one will come out first. Oh, sorry. This goes first, and this one opens. Gear comes down, rotates, and bam. So I have mine where it just kind of falls out, because it's built on a 9-second pressure build. So it pulsates and provides pressure to the air cylinder on the down, and eventually builds it up to where it gets full 110 psi. So that way, instead of getting like a 110 right off the gate, which would make it slam down, there's no locks in these, so there's no point in it slamming down like that. And that's what would, before this, would tear up this or break stuff, and the gear would collapse on you when you landed. And I will note that on this one, because it rotates around this seal, it's also a seal. This has air and oil in it, so it's really tight. So you have to, don't over service this strut. You want this strut to collapse at least halfway when it's full of fuel on its wheels. That way it lubricates that O-ring, so it will actually rotate when it comes up. Because if you have this maxed out on pressure and it doesn't ever stroke and lube that O-ring in there, it won't get up, it won't rotate properly and get up into the bay. So I have mine, it's not enough. It actually, when this thing's full up with fuel, it'll bottom out, which isn't a problem. It has like a butt-in low kind of look to it. So I'm actually going to put some air in here to get about 3/4 to a half to 3/4 stroke. That way it still gets a little shock absorbing, and the butt's not so low. but that does help it rotate better too. You know, you got a more of a positive angle, but I don't think this one needs it. It takes off just fine. But there you go. So that one is installed. And all this stuff is kind of squared away, hooked up. This is the fuel. I'm actually going to trim some off. I guess I had it routed a different last time because of the inlets. I'm not putting those inlets in. It's just so much easier to get in here and do things that I'm going to leave them out. You know, if it's a little bit more draggy with them out, that's fine. I have excess power. This thing, you know, will fly around just fine on 50%. 60% is the perfect kind of comfort zone. 70% it's honking. 100% you really don't need unless you're going vertical. So, and these are 166s. So 140s would be perfect. And this one has got everything. I fly it with the fuel tanks. I got the pylons on. And I'm thinking about adding some bottom missiles, some Phoenix missiles to it, especially if it's tail heavy now that I took out some stuff. So, but yeah, pretty happy with that. So all I got to do now is take this little C clamp here and pop it on the back side of this one, and it'll be done. And then I got to hop to the other side, and that's pretty much it. Once I get the new linear actuators in, I'll probably have to get a little 2-cell ion versus the 3 because it's going to be 7.4. So I'll put my little 2-cell ion right here. These are the power system batteries. The turbine batteries aren't installed. They mount right here. Oops, sorry. Mount right here, plug in here. And like I said, prior to doing any of the changes, that's the only little bit of nose weight. And that's what are those, 1/4 ounces? Just, you know, those strips of weights that you could buy. What was that, 7 grams? So 14 grams right there. There's just 2 of them. Yeah. This is to turn on the power system. Got I got too many fill ports. Got one for gear, one for brakes, one for doors, one for canopy. Knowing what I know now, I would have just done a door or a gear and brakes. And then I would have put the gear and the doors on one and the canopy and brakes on the other. But like I said, built this a long time ago and wasn't as knowledgeable as I am now. So, but yeah, it's a big mess in there. This thing's horrible to work on. So the ECUs are back there. The pumps are right there. UATs on each side. Those are MAP high flows. I've got 2 air valves working the gear, and this works great for me to get more of a high flow and get good strong pressure. So one goes to one main plus the nose, the other one goes to the other main into the nose, and then it's worked great. This is doors. You got to have 2 for doors because you've got those front doors have to operate differently than the back one. So I've got 2 air valves for the doors, 1 for the canopy, and here's canopy, speed brakes, and this is what is this? Oh, brake. That's the brake valve. So, and this is like I said, this is for the swing wing. It's a pin switch, fail safe, and it stays under the canopy. So when it opens, you just put the pin in, turn it on, pull the pin out, and this was how it was set up on 11 volts. And that's what I'm going to do with this one. Even if I use the new linear actuators that run right off the power system, I'm just going to run a single lead to the receiver and then hook the other 2 straight to the battery, and this will be like the disconnect between the power. So yeah, that's about it, man. I got it back together, doing a couple little cleanup things. I'm going to get everything put on it, and I'll show you guys another video where that's done. This, like I said, this is a swing wing, what it looks like essentially, and you're only going from about there. Actually, probably about right there is back, and then full out is about right there. So yeah. But yeah, this is what I got to do now. I got to replace this one. So You guys have a good evening. I'm gonna go get some barbecue, doing some pulled pork barbecue tonight again. So I'm gonna do that, and then I'm gonna come back out and clean the shop up a little bit, get some organization, and things like that. But you guys have a good one. I'll talk to you later.